Hi everyone, welcome to the third episode in our series of Expert Talk. We've got a very special guest with us today. Welcome, Jess.
Hi, thanks for having me.
To begin with, how about you tell us a little bit about yourself and your company, Ellipse Health?
So I am a nutritionist and dietitian. I graduated from the University of Sydney in 2017, and I think it was 2015 where I actually decided to start Ellipse Health, which all started as me just blogging and writing articles and recipes to share with my friends and my family. And now it's actually turned into something where I'm doing phone consultations and I'm talking to people on the phone all over Australia and helping them use nutrition to improve their health.
I've checked out some of your recipes as well, and they look pretty good.
Yes, they are delicious, if I do say so myself.
So what got you interested in working with nutrition and the quality of people's diets?
I've always researched nutrition all my life, even before I, went to university to study it. And I guess, one of the biggest things was seeing people around me having really negative relationships with food. And then even myself, I had some very negative relationships with food. And it sort of took over my life. And I really just wanted to find out, okay, well, why isn't it working? Why is it so hard to eat healthy? And how can I really find out what works when it comes to nutrition and find out more about the body and find out more about health. And I guess the other big thing as well is, my father actually had a heart attack 2 years ago. And when he had this heart attack, he was also at the same time diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. And that's been a massive driver for me to really look into the research behind both diabetes and cardiovascular disease and see what I can do for my dad from a nutritional perspective to help him get healthier and happier and live a better life.
Wow. So you do see a really big link then between chronic health conditions and nutrition, or do you think the nutrition can improve those things?
Yes, 100%. And I've already seen it in my father. So after he had the heart attack, he changed, turned things around. He was able to drop, I think, 10 kilos. And he was able to improve his HbA1c. He's still on a journey, just like everyone else is. You're never going to get to that perfect state of health, or you're never going to, we all set goals, but as soon as we've reached those goals, there's more goals to set. So there's no perfection, but it's all about just stepping towards where you need to go. And I really do believe nutrition does have a major role in that.
What would you say some of the biggest myths are out there about healthy eating, seeing that there is so much competing evidence or competing suggestions that people say?
One of the biggest myths out there is that all fats are bad. We hear it all the time, low fat, count your calories, all those types of things. Women on yo-yo dieting, getting their calories right down to lose weight. And fat has been demonized, not just for weight gain, but also for cardiovascular disease. So they always say for heart health, reduce your intake of fat. But in my sort of experience with research, I've done quite a lot of research over my time, and I actually looked into all the systematic reviews of randomized controlled trials for the link between saturated fat and heart disease, and there is absolutely there is no proven link. So we can't even say that there's a correlation between saturated fat and heart disease. And there's also no correlation between total fat and heart disease. So that is a big myth, I think, that, a lot of people are not addressing, and a lot of people are still really scared of fats. And I'm not, I don't think we should increase just any old fat. There's still healthy and unhealthy types of fat, but I do think it's a myth to say that all fats are bad.
Oh, really? I've heard with trans fats, like some places have banned them. I think New York has tried to ban all trans fats from their restaurants. Is that a good thing, or is that a step in the wrong direction?
Yeah, so that comes down to what I talk about when I talk about choosing the right types of fats. So there are still some fats that are not good for our bodies. And this is really confusing. And it comes more down to biochemistry than it does to any sort of trial that we have. But we do know that trans fats they're a type of chemical configuration that are quite inflammatory to our body. particularly fats that have been hydrogenated. So they've, if you're deep frying things or you're processing oils in really high heats, then that's not good for your body because that's pro-inflammation. And we don't want lots of inflammation in our body, but we do need to be a bit savvy about how we choose fats. And I don't know if the information is out there yet, but I certainly on an individual basis do counsel people on choosing smart fats.
So what about with fast food restaurants then? How they have to put up the kilojoule content now? Is that something that you see as a helpful thing, or is that going to not make too much difference as long as people are still eating junk food?
I don't know about this one really, because I don't believe in counting calories or counting kilojoules, because as I sort of with my own experience, I mean, I have counted calories before and I have been on one of those diets where all I'm looking at is the number of calories I'm eating a day. And from my own experience, I can tell you that the quality of my diet when I was just looking at calories or kilojoules was really poor. And all I cared about doing was getting the numbers down, down, down. And I wasn't considering, nutritional adequacy. I wasn't considering how much iron I was getting, how much vitamin A I was getting. All I cared about was that my calories were low. So I don't know if it's very helpful from that perspective. Just having kilojoules up there tells us nothing about the nutritional quality of that food.
Not all calories are the same then?
Definitely not, no. So, I mean, you could have 1,000 calories of choc chip muffins and 1,000 calories of tuna. And, you can't possibly think that those two things are the same in your body. Already we know that tuna is a source of long chain omega-3 fats, which are essential to our brain health and to our heart health. And we need to get them in our diet every day. But I can't really think of anything that a cupcake has that my body actually needs every day.
Ah, interesting. What about soft drink then? I know Pepsi Max and Coke Zero, they've got 0 calories and they try to advocate that means it's healthy. What do you see as being healthier between regular soft drink and diet soft drink, and are both of them just as bad for you?
Yeah, so this is a funny one for me, I think, because I've never had soft drink before. I hate soft drink ever since I was young. I remember my brother one time we were at Macca's and he gave me a Macca's cup and he was telling me it was water, but it was Fanta, and I just spit it out everywhere. And this one was when I was like 5 or 6. So I've never really known the whole addiction, love of soft drink type of thing. But from a health perspective, it would be more down to, again, what are your goals? If you had somebody who had diabetes, for example, and so they had to sort of monitor how much carbohydrate they were having in a day, but they really loved soft drink, then maybe it would be better for them to switch from the normal soft drink to the 0 or no sugar soft drink, because it does mean that they're reducing the carbohydrates. But for general health, I don't think either of them are good. I think that's really something that everybody agrees we should be trying to cut back on.
I've been trying to switch to soda water with lemon lately, and I do find it gives me a little bit of a fix for the soft drink, but it's not quite the same.
Yeah, so with all these artificial sweeteners that we have, there's actually something going on in our body where we taste the sweetness, our brain goes, oh, we must be getting some carbohydrates soon. So we start releasing a little bit of insulin, but we never get those carbohydrates. And we don't know what the effect of that is on our body, because that state of having high insulin without any carbs could be quite damaging. It's not a natural state to be in. We only usually have insulin high to counteract the carbohydrate.